Sometimes I just don't feel like things are changing for me. I've done courses and I've read so much on attachment. Do you have any idea what is blocking me from healing? This is the question that I'm answering for you today. The person that wrote this is not alone, and I'm sure that many people watching this video can relate. That's the first thing that I want to say, because for me, it's so important to know that. It's so important to know that, especially like for anxious attachment, self-soothing can seem like it's impossible, and we can really doubt our ability to self-soothe. I believe in your ability to self-soothe. I've seen myself change in that way, and I've seen the people that I work with in that way. When it comes to answering this question, of course, I don't know your lived experience as an individual. I don't know what is going on inside for you that might be blocking the word that you used, change. What I do believe and what I do know, because this is what I see over and over again, over 10 years of doing this work, is that it's more likely that there's something in you protecting you from change because of what you've been through, because of your personal lived experience. So whilst I can't answer this question directly, unless we're working together, or sometimes there's a bit more room for me to be able to do that when I'm working with people inside my membership. They're the options in order to get more individualized support. But I'm going to give you three key blocks. I don't love that word. Three key blocks that I see when it comes to healing attachment wounds. And I shared this recently on my Instagram. So if you follow me there, you might have seen something about this. The first block is judging your healing pace. I see people criticizing themselves and judging themselves over and over again for falling back into patterns, for seeing patterns come up that they had thought that they'd worked through, that they'd thought that they had healed, but actually sometimes we only see certain triggers, again, when we're in certain situations. So judging the pace of your healing, it actually slows you down. It's actually another reason to criticize yourself. That's a pattern in itself. So that is something that I often am working through with people at the beginning of our sessions, because otherwise that gets in between us, that you're being hard on yourself, that you're giving yourself a really challenging time, when actually the work that you're approaching is not easy, it is not quick. So that's the first block that I see. The second block that I want to talk to you about is similar in the sense of it's self-criticism, and it is towards the anxious part or the avoidant part of you. So when I work with people, I am going inwards and we're communicating with these different parts that you're experiencing. They're creating a sense of feeling of stuckness, anxiety, those kind of things. Judging those parts looks like when we have feelings about feelings. So that might be that I had an anxious episode yesterday, and today I'm giving myself a hard time about that. I'm feeling ashamed of that. I'm just full of regret about it. I'm feeling angry about it. You name the emotion. Maybe I'm feeling numb. But the point is that I'm feeling something else now, and that becomes my focus. And when I'm focused on being angry at myself and beating myself up, what I'm not doing is I'm not giving attention to the part that needed it in the first place. I'm not giving attention to the part that was activated and triggered. Now, I want to be able to untangle that so that I can change it for the future and they don't trigger me in the same ways. However, that's really difficult if all I'm doing is criticizing myself and feeling shame and replaying things and going over them. I'm not saying that you're just going to stop doing that, but there's a process and there's a way that we can allow space for both so that we can continue to untangle our triggers and to meet the insecure part. So we really, really want to be meeting that with compassion. There's a little hint on the actual how we do that, but that's the second block that I see a lot. The third block I'm talking about is that believing someone else is the reason for how you feel. Side note, and an important note for people with insecure attachment, this is not about you taking full responsibility. I'm sure you're very good at that. This is about me just saying that if you are more focused on the outside person and something outside of you that you need to change in order for you to feel okay, in order for you to feel happy, that can really block us seeing change. Because change happens when we go inwards, when we go in and explore what we're feeling, the anxiety that we're experiencing. When we can notice that I feel like I need someone, or I need them to change their mind, or I need to meet someone, when we can start to realize that that is us focusing outside of us instead of going inwards, that's a really significant shift. That really, really supports us. The block comes when we're only focused outside of us. And we do that so often because either we don't know how to go inwards, or we're afraid of what we're going to reveal if we go inwards. That again depends on you and your lived experiences, but definitely I see it as a block when we're still blaming outside. We don't want to blame inside. That's about curiosity. So they're three key blocks that I see when it comes to healing. They may or may not apply to you. You leave what doesn't apply to you. There can be a really, really long list. And if you don't relate to what I've just said, that doesn't mean that you're unable to do the work, or that this doesn't apply to you in any way at all. You take what works for you and you personally leave what doesn't. And that supports that first point, right, around our healing pace and things like that, because this is not a one size fits all. So I hope that's helpful. If you want me to expand on anything, please feel free to leave a comment or a question in the comments box. I am an attachment coach. I work with people one-to-one. I support people inside my membership. You can check out all of the details for that by going to the bio below this video. I'd love it if you would like and subscribe. That spreads the message of these videos. It gets to the people just like you and just like me who are out there struggling with relationship and attachment difficulties.